Welcome to No Match for a Blaster, a Star Wars role-playing podcast, Season 2, Episode 26, Let's All Go to the Lobby. I'm your host and purveyor of Force Bantha Poodoo, Ito Davis. If you're new here, No Match for a Blaster is an actual play podcast featuring the Morality Plays crew playing the Star Wars role-playing system by Fantasy Flight Games. And now it is time to thank our Nerf Herd of the Week, Heather Canfield. At this level, our patrons get access to our exclusive Patreon feeds to listen to our episodes days early. Plus, Heather will get to name an NPC on our show. Thank you, patrons. To be our next Blasterhead or Nerf Herd of the Week, be sure to subscribe to us at Patreon at patreon.com/moralityplays. Patreon has some changing features for new creators, and we at Morality Plays are feeling cautiously optimistic about it. Have you heard about the changes? What do you think? Let us know on our Facebook at No Match for a Blaster, or tweet us at morality_plays. So, grab your popcorn, because we're returning to the crew of the Atheon, as Remy and Kamaya are experiencing even more Force visions.
Open. Moff Spozak's intelligence log. The crew of the Atheon has traded information broker Ushal Mortov the promise of a rare ship modification for information leading to a rumored weapon designed to fight Force users. They believe that they have discovered their objective, together with the gruesome remnants of an ancient Jedi known only as Subject 12. But with basilisk war droids roaming the facility, making good on their deal with Mortov may prove more challenging than they expected. Close. Intelligence log.
Okay, I tell the thing we're trying to stop Theridian Thask.
A hand outstretches out towards you.
Is there anything you can do to help us know how to stop him?
Yes, Captain, that's why we're here. We're trying to find the weapon.
I reach out my hand too.
Okay. He touches your hand.
Okay.
S4, minutes pass. Neither of them move.
Well, not that I know that, but...
Yeah.
Well, the hand doesn't move.
Yeah, you're right. The glove.
Oh, is it? Did he reach out the hand that I can see?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah, either. It still works. All right. So,
yeah.
Kamaya, you reached out your hand. You touched it, with intent to communicate. All of a sudden, blink. Everything is white for a moment. All of your hearing, all of your senses go blank for a second. And then almost like it's all slowly the reality is dripping back in. Your sense of where you are, all the ambient sounds, everything come back. And you notice that you're in a place you've never seen before. You're out in what you would think of almost like a tundra. It looks like it's a planet with mostly ice. You move your feet a little bit because you've had these hallucinations, and so you're a little more cogent now. As you shift your feet, you hear the packed snow and the thin layer of ice on top of it crunch and move. You look around and you see there's a speeder with a distinctive symbol on the side of it. You try and concentrate on what it is, and then a figure walks from around the speeder and looks towards you. It's gray, and his face is marred in the same way you saw it before. His one eye is one of those low-tech cybernetic pieces. He's wrapped up tight in winter clothing, collar held up close, and you see he has multiple knives on him and a very large blaster. The man you knew never liked blasters or weapons or anything like that, but now that you're looking at him here, he's somebody that if you turned a corner on a street and you saw him, you would think twice. There's a glimmer of recognition in his eyes that you notice, that remind you of how you must have looked when you first got the first vision of him.
Of how I must have looked?
Whenever you got the first vision of him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see that
Gray?
it brightens up. And he outreaches his arm, and then, boom, it's gone. Remy.
Okay.
You reach your hand out. All of your senses go away. Nothing.
And roll the credits.
And ta-da! Your senses go away, and all of a sudden it comes back. You hear a cacophony of city sounds. You've never been the biggest fan of cities, and it all comes in, and you look up, and you see the tops of these massive, massively tall buildings. And you look around, nothing but streets and people going everywhere. But something's a little off. I mean, you don't like cities in the first place, but the way everyone's dressed, the way the vehicles look, it's so clean. Like, really clean and unmarred. And it's off-putting. And you see, among all these people, for some reason your attention locks on to a single individual in a off-white colored robe walking among all these people down on the sidewalks. And you see them move to this grand double-door archway inset into one of these buildings. He lifts his hands with a small device, and the doors open. And then as the doors open, you notice that there's another person dressed in the same way. The person who was just inside the doorway, you notice that at their belt was that exact same lightsaber that you held in your hand in your previous vision. A small tick of information, for some reason, leaks into your brain and fills your senses. A single word, and you know that it's a planet. It's called Sagira. And then, boom, it's gone. And both of you snap out of it at the same time. And if S4 could see more than a glove, he would have really noticed. It's been 15 minutes. You've probably gone up to them, tried to see where they are, touch them, do any kind of diagnosis. You might even been worried at some point, but they snap out of it at the same time.
Okay. Captain, Kamaya. Captain, Kamaya.
I'm here.
Oh, good.
Sagira.
What?
Pardon?
Oh, sorry. I think we need to go to Sagira. It's a planet.
All right, Captain. How is everyone feeling? Does anybody have a headache?
Okay.
No, I'm alright. Fine. Just, I think that was a Jedi, and I think he was trying to tell me that we need to go to seek something at Sagira.
What is that place?
Was there a Jedi temple maybe at Sagira?
Not that I'm aware of, Captain.
As for you're aware of the planet, it was a massive city planet. Like every square inch was just
like Taurus or Coruscant.
Yeah, it's like that, or yeah. You're not aware of any Jedi activity on that planet.
That is a city planet, or rather, a planet that is completely covered by a city, Captain, or at least it used to be.
Kamaya, you would also. I'm just gonna say you know too. You know that is still a city planet, but it has a reputation now.
For what?
Oh, it is. It's all bad neighborhood.
Wretched hive of scum and villainy.
It's an apartment building of scum and villainy at this point.
Ah.
All right.
Wretched hive world.
Yeah.
Sagira doesn't seem like the kind of planet that would house Jedi stuff, but I mean, maybe.
Kamaya, your vision, you saw... Have you said his name yet? I think you
I've said Gray.
Yeah.
I haven't said anything more than that.
Oh, so you guys are in the room. You guys are in the, the room that had the
blue
blob
room.
in it.
Yeah.
Just outside
The boss battle room.
just outside of the room, S4, about 15 minutes ago, that flame emitter that converts energy into fire that
Fell from the ceiling?
fell from the ceiling.
Yes. And I am still palinkeened at the moment.
So we've got the thing. We did it?
Yes, but it seems we fired the only piece of ammunition for it. Or at least someone did.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we have the schematic to build a new one, right?
Yes, but we need an activated lightsaber crystal, which, of course, you have lying around somewhere, right, Captain?
Well,
Okay,
no,
how
but
do
I
you
mean,
get an activated lightsaber crystal?
I don't know. That was something the Jedi knew how to do.
Okay. So...
I know. Why don't we go to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant?
Well, Remy, you said something about Segura.
yeah, I
Think there's an
mean,
answer there?
It's a city planet, but I don't know of any Jedi activity ever taking place there.
well, in my vision, I thought Well, I have no notes of that vision. But I do remember there being... I don't know if it was a temple exactly, but it was sort of pyramid-esque, I think, with some carvings, and there was definitely what looked like a Jedi, or at least what you hear about in the stories. What I imagine to be a Jedi would look like going in to the building, carrying something important. So, I mean, it's at least worth checking out.
I do not disagree, Captain, but that does not help us in the immediate situation, does it? We still need to figure out how to get the item off the front of what's left of that ship in the hangar, so that we can pay our contact.
And how to actually get it to our ship. I mean...
Right.
Wasn't there another
Does she have to
Basilisk droid in there when we
yeah,
left
at least
it?
one.
I believe there are 4 remaining. Although, the thing that they are guarding is now dead. Maybe if we can get to the main control room, we can convince the computer to call them off. It's worth a shot, at least. I'd rather not have to fight them again.
Sure, but...
It's going to cost me an arm that no.
Well,
And a leg? No. Wait.
if that doesn't work, I mean, does she really need the whole thing? Can we give her a schematic to make it?
I think she wants the whole thing. Unless you're willing to burn this particular contact. She seemed
I just
quite
mean, I
helpful
don't
to
know
me.
how we're going to get it to the Atheon.
Yes, that is for us to figure out, isn't it? Maybe if I can convince the Basilisk war droids to help me, we can lop off the front of the spaceship and just take the whole front of the spaceship with us.
Oh, you know what might help and hurt with that?
A Basilisk war droid?
Let's roll some dice.
Oh, Force of Destiny points.
Yeah.
No, we
Destiny
don't need to do that.
Dice pool.
Dice pool.
Clear pool.
One dark side.
One light side.
2 light side.
Ooh.
The power of sass is with me.
Come on.
There is no joy. There is only
Only sass.
only sarcasm.
The sarcasm is strong with this one.
Nice. One light side from Ito.
Alright, so what is that? Oh gosh. Alright.
All the light
Is that
side.
4 and 1?
Yeah,
Yep.
4 and 1.
4 light side, 1 dark side. That's a pretty good start for y'all.
Yeah.
We'll take whatever help we can get. Thank you.
Kind of the opposite from last week, but
What with still being
that's
cadets and all.
better.
Last week was it 5-1 or 5-0? I think.
It was 5-0.
The good old days.
All the dark side, all the time.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Yes, I agree. First things first. We need to get out of here, preferably with that ship component,
Yes.
and either deal with or avoid the basilisks.
If we can get the basilisk droids under control and find a way to get the Atheon down, it'll be a lot easier to get that part to the ship,
Yes.
along with anything else we find that might be useful.
Yes. I'm all for trying to call off the Basilisk war droids and then maybe turn off the automated defenses.
And find a way to open that hangar. I think it was collapsed.
That is also true.
But if you can get the Basilisk war droids on our side, then maybe they could help with that.
I don't know that I'll be able to get them on our side, but I may at least be able to stop them from trying to kill us.
I'll accept that.
Yeah, that'd be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need for that, though?
I need access to the controls. I'm assuming they're on the first floor, as in at the top.
Alright. So, up top then?
Yes. Then I'm sticking you all in back to tanks and giving you all thorough scans to try to figure out what's wrong with you.
Nothing is wrong with us. I think it's
Right.
over.
You just stood there for 15 minutes for perfectly legitimate reasons.
Oh, that counts as a short rest. You guys can.
Alright, everybody gets a spell back, and
I believe,
Well, no, I do have strain still.
yeah, I think
so.
that recovers all y'all's strain.
does
all
that
of it?
recover strain for me?
I mean, unless robots do something different.
Not that I'm aware of.
When you end like a big scene, when you guys have a moment, like you're supposed to recover all your strain, I believe.
Oh.
No! You
Great.
roll it. Never
Yeah,
mind.
you roll.
We roll this stuff because it could go terrible.
What is it that we roll? We roll something useless to me, if I remember correctly.
Cool or discipline, I believe.
Yeah. Both of
Your
them are one
choice.
dice for me. Yeah, one die.
Alright, I recover 1.
Advantages don't mean anything. Successes recover 1.
I recover 1.
Hooray.
I recover 3 because I have rapid recovery.
Ooh.
Special abilities.
All right, there you go. You guys got a nap, kind of.
Nap. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Hanging out on this makeshift palanquin.
You're like Emperor Palpatine. Sorry. Okay, I'm done. All right, go. All right, I didn't do it. All right.
Did we wish to recollect the flame projector?
I guess.
It
Okay.
fell from the ceiling about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, we can
Right
do that.
around the time you shot the big gloopy thing. Which is a technical term.
Yeah, the Jedi. Alright, let's get our stuff and get moving.
Yep. Kamaya, your rifle also fell to the ground. It was outside down the hall.
Cool. I'll grab it.
Rifle, quote unquote. Your drone projector.
My drone projector, yeah. Yep, I'll take my drone projector and go bring it back to the elevator.
If we could take an extra couple minutes and collect some of the rare components that were left over that used to be stuck to the ceiling. I believe there were several junked weapons lying around.
Yeah,
one
bits
of
and
which,
bobs.
Yeah, bits and bobs. I just want to collect some pieces for
Yeah.
later use.
You got 2 small boxes worth of stuff.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
When you're like, oh, I could use a thing. Do I have a thing? I'm like, let me check your box. You consume your box. You have spare parts. You have Mandalorian spare parts. As you walk down the hall back towards the turbo lift, it does seem a lot more calm. Like, you know, the hairs on the back of your head don't feel, the back of your neck don't feel like they're standing up on end. Remy, the throb in your arm is completely gone. Kamaya, you still have a bit of a headache, but it's a different kind. It's more of just like you've been through a lot. Mm-hmm. Maybe your blood sugar's getting a little low, but like not the level of like headache that you had before.
Yeah, it's almost residual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remy, Imp is in your suit and is just like fast asleep, like curled around your neck like one of those airline pillows. It's real warm in there. As you walk by, you do see where that bobule of goop was in the hallway that kept moving. It has
No, we brought it back and stuck it on the big.
Oh, you're
block.
right. Never mind. It's not there anymore. Yeah. All the goop that's
if it was back, I was going to be concerned.
all the goop that was in that room has like more or less like lost its like tense muscles, just kind of extra gooped. It's more liquefied. Yeah, and you're able to use to the lift, turbo lift.
Mm-hmm.
It's dead.
All right, I'll shock it back into usefulness.
Next time, S4 is just going to bring like a small gas generator wherever it goes.
Yeah, I'll just bring a gonk droid with me next time.
Oh yeah, there's.
We're just going to bring a gonk droid next time. It'll solve this entire dilemma.
It's a service ladder. Yeah, you can just take the service ladder if you want.
We could just take the stairs.
It's not like we're a centaur or anything.
Yeah. You ever try to lift a palanquin up?
Centaurs can climb stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're nothing like droids.
Yeah.
Nothing like drugs. All right, you powered up.
Yeah, power it up.
All right. What button do you push?
Back up to the very top.
Oh, yes. Floor 1. Ding.
The one we skipped.
No, it goes bong.
Bong.
You all
Oh, that's
remember
right.
it goes bong.
Dun.
We did
Thank you.
very specifically make sure.
You made it you made it go bing several times, and this is completely unacceptable.
They open up, and you remember the first kind of area you saw. It's, the lights are flickering on and off. It's very dark. It looks like a lobby almost. Massive gouge marks at about shoulder height all around this room of Duracrete. You all now know what a Basilisk War Droid looks like, and some of you have even seen the claws up close, and those gouge marks in the wall make even more sense. Mm-hmm. There are hallways off to the left, right, forward.
So clearance in this room. Probably not good for my drone projector.
Nah, it's like...
Yeah, I leave the drone projector.
In the turbo lift.
Yeah. And probably grab my trusty rifle.
Okay.
Alright, I will order the droid palanquin to start taking me into the room.
They just walk. You don't...
So we need computer banks.
Last time you guys up here, you heard a bit of loud ruckus going on down one of the halls. Now it is silent.
Yes, and I believe it was probably that hall was the hall we did not investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That sounds like us. Danger? Oops. Adventure? Nah, let's go this way.
Alright. How many ways are there to go here?
3.
Is one of the ones the way we came from?
Yes.
Did we investigate the other way?
Nope.
Nope. Alright, well, let's go the way that doesn't have the giant gouges in the wall first.
Where the sound wasn't coming from?
Where the sound was not coming from.
Okay.
That sounds like us.
Alright. So, you go down the hall. Lights are still flickering. It has kind of an eerie silence to it. The smell of, very long time ago, Mandalorians not having a good day. You come across this S4. You would I guess Remy more than anyone else would recognize that this looks like you're entering an intelligence room. Lots of smaller computer terminals, desks, a massive holo display in the middle of the room. You see bodies strewn around, equipment destroyed, flung everywhere. When the lights do flicker on, they cast an eerie scene in your vision. you see this place is just almost completely torn up. Yeah. So it was an intelligence room. It was kind of like... No, sorry. You would know it because you know military intelligence rooms. So this is one of those kind of rooms that, like... the room that they had in the space station? How the Defense Force had in the space station where they were, like, making decisions on all these missions and stuff? Mm-hmm. This looks like one of those kind of rooms.
So... Computer terminals. Good place to start.
Everybody give me investigation. Individuals.
Difficulty?
Difficulty is going to be average with a black die.
Also, there is no investigation.
Also that.
Perception.
Two, is it, so it's 2 purple or 1?
2 and a black.
2.
1 success and 2 threats.
No successes, 2 advantages.
Same. Is this a time? Well, let's see. Hold on here. What do I have?
You want to
You have
reroll?
your reroll, but...
I'm not going to, but...
Oh, who has the best dice pool?
Oh, you can make your friends roll a blue die or something, right?
Reroll. You can let someone reroll.
Allies within short range add 1 blue die to perception or vigilance when engaged. And that's all the time. So actually, both of you should just add a blue die.
Yeah, go for it.
To your rolls.
Nothing. So, 1 success, 2 threats.
Ooh.
I got 2 more advantages, so I have a total of no successes and 4 advantages.
Oh, well. I mean, I guess I could, but I'm gonna save that other... Because the other one is once per session, so...
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait on that.
All right. S4, you go through all the computer terminals, and you do see one that does have some power going through it. It's one of the workstations next to the holoprojector. Kamaya, you go around for a bit, stepping over bodies and stuff like that, and you notice that there is behind one of the desks there are 2 bodies kind of crumpled up, and you can actually see light emanating from underneath them. You can see down through the floor into the level below you. It looks like it's 15 feet of Duracrete, and there's a hole going through it. The hole doesn't look big enough for a Basilisk War droid, but you think it might. Maybe it just didn't punch all the way through. You remember on the floor below, there were tons and tons of holes in the ceiling. So it could make sense that not all of them went all the way through. Remy, you got 2. Remy, you notice that a lot of these people actually seem like more closer to military brass. So you see some sidearms on them. You see them, the remnants of dress uniforms and stuff like that. And it looks like where on the bottom of the lower floors there was this chaos where they were all attacking each other. This one, it looks like that they were all dispatched by not by attacking each other. You don't see that same kind of signs of struggles of combat.
But I do see some corpses still.
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Was this room hermetically sealed?
No.
Oh. That's weird.
Do they have any... can I tell what they were killed by? Is it uniform or different, first of all?
Is what? Oh, is it uniform?
Or is it a couple... some appear to be stabbed and others shot type of thing.
You look around for a bit. You don't see any blaster bolts through their uniforms. You don't see. You can see skeletal things, so you don't see any of the bones broken. You do. Give me another roll.
Would you like a medicine roll?
Yeah, give me medicine.
Perception?
You give me medicine or perception.
It is medicine, isn't it? So my perception is 3 green. My medicine is 1 yellow and 1 green.
Your call. You get slightly different information.
I'll do medicine. Same difficulty?
Yes.
That's 1 success, 2 threats. 2 failure? Wait, no, 2 threats. Yeah, 1 success, 2 threats.
So you check the bodies. Doesn't look like there's any blaster bolts anywhere. Doesn't look like there's any real damage to the skeletons. It looks like they all fell forward because you can see their arms kind of. Some of them are kind of pinned under themselves. Their weapons at their belt aren't even unlatched or anything. But after looking for a while, you do notice that that the parts on their belt buckle, parts on their lapel pins, like parts of their, it actually you see a little bit of fusing. It looks so if they have ribbons and metals on them, that the part that was at the very end that was on the inside of their clothes, you can see that the metal fused for a moment, so it got just hot enough that the little bit of star brass was soft enough to the very tips were liquefied.
All right.
Okay. What do you guys do?
There's a weird hole down here. I think those war droids were trying to burrow through.
Well, what did I find with my 1 success?
You found a computer.
Oh, that's right.
You
Okay.
found a computer with a bit of power on it. That's
Okay.
right next to
I will go to the computer.
All right. Roll computers. This is going to
No.
be hard with a black die.
Yeah, they haven't cleared their cache or
Anything.
updated their
So many
For a
cookies.
long time.
firmware in years.
You open it, it's just flying toasters.
No successes and a threat. Nah, I can't get into this. Maybe it's too badly banged up.
So you try and get in. It is on, but you fail to figure out the 3-number password effectively.
Right.
The hollow projector next to you starts to flicker, and then comes to life. You see a standby thing. And
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. No. This is old.
It says there are 53,000 impending urgent messages. Yeah, you see the Mandalorian symbol in all its glory.
Mm-hmm.
Light up the room.
I would like to check one of the corpses and open their pistol holster and take a look at the pistol.
Yeah.
Is it still in relatively good shape?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Well, at least we could take some of these and sell them to that antique weapons dealer.
What about the computer?
I cannot seem to access it, Kamaya.
Oh.
Besides, this looks like some sort of planning room. I'm not sure this is what we need in order to take control or at least shut down the Basilisk war droids.
But you wouldn't be able to access anything else from here? I mean, we need
I can't. Let me try to access the holo projector. Is it interactive? Can I interact with the holo projector, or is it just a display?
It's a display.
I spend a force point. The 3-number code is written on one of the...
Luckily, he had it tattooed to one of his bones, so he wouldn't forget.
like a reasonable person would do.
Like a reasonable Mandalorian computer operator. Yeah.
So we have set up that Mandalorians don't use when you guys were in the barrack level, right? You found the panel that was meant for officers to interact with settings on the floor of the floor.
Yeah, they have computer code cylinders or their equivalent.
Yeah, they have their equivalent of code cylinders.
And this looks like a bunch of officers,
Yes.
right?
All right, let's look for non-code cylinders.
You do not see any.
Let's look harder.
You don't see any.
All right,
That is
maybe
very
they're underneath them.
That is very weird. Yeah, you don't
That
see
is
them.
weird.
Yeah.
They should, at least one of them should have their
You
code
go
cylinders.
and you search their body, and they do have
Other stuff?
Some of the so if there's 30 people in this room, You find 5 of them that have a part, like a breast, like under their arm. They have a little spot for that would lock into it, and you do not see.
But they're not there.
They're not there.
So somebody has taken them. That's not reassuring.
Down that hole, so I see kind of light, and how far down can I see?
Oh, I mean, if you like get close to it, it's pouring out light. You're in a darker room, and you're looking at a place that is better lit right now. So it's kind of, because of the holo projector, you can see better now. So you see a hole about the size. It's about 2.5 feet diameter hole with these bodies kind of piled up around it. Through it, you can see down 15 feet. There's a 15-foot hole going through the dirt, getting wider as it goes on. And then you can see the hangar bay below you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They were definitely trying to burrow through here.
There is still another hallway.
Shall we check the next hall?
Doesn't look like we're getting anywhere in here.
Are you in front of me? Wait, there's the captain's hand. Okay.
I'm by the light.
You guys take some pistols?
Sure. And any other Mandalorian paraphernalia that looks like it might be intact. I'm sure there are collectors.
Yeah. I mean,
we loot for cool stuff.
The loaders are for the most part full. But
yeah, we could just go and stash it in the turbo lift for the moment.
Yeah.
Unless the turbo lift is getting full. Too.
No, the turbo lift's fine. The turbo lift's meant to help. Yeah.
So, how many boxes
of
Mandalorian
elevator.
paraphernalia do we have? 1 box of Mandalorian paraphernalia?
You guys have like 3. It's fine. You guys,
okay.
You guys can
3
get belts
boxes
and guns and these are all officer pistols. They're effectively like Rugers.
Yeah, Mandalorian. What do we call this? War trophies?
Yeah, spoils.
Yeah.
Remy, give me a knowledge because you like guns. Whatever that would be.
I love the name of that knowledge. That's a great knowledge.
Knowledge you like guns. Let's see.
Warfare?
We like blasters.
Yeah, give me knowledge warfare. Perfect. Give me knowledge warfare.
What difficulty?
Difficulty 1 purple, 1 black.
2 successes, 2 threats.
Okay.
Ooh. You did it.
Yeah, these are pretty good kit. Small, light blaster pistols. They are mostly for
antiques.
Yeah, they're mostly for dress, but they have a variable firing, which in Mandalorian doesn't mean that it can fire like 1 or 2 or 3 shots. It means that you can expend more of the battery pack to do more damage, but then you'll have to reload it much quicker. You haven't goofed with it yet, but you see that like the different settings. You can see if you click through the settings that you can see that you can crank it all the way up, and you think that it'll eat a charge pack really quickly, but you could hit as hard as a much bigger gun.
Okay, and how many of these do we have?
Gosh, a few.
Did we? Oh,
Several.
Yeah.
Several?
I'll say you got 5. I'll say 5 are perfect. So you go back down the hall. You go the way that the Basilisk War Droid on this level, back in, the first session of us going down here. You go down that way?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You go down for a little bit, and
Wait for the fog of war to move out of the way.
The dark hallway is lit up by your palanquin loader droids, lights blazing, and you get to a large frosted glass double doors. And in Mandalorian, it says, gosh. Yeah, it's essentially showing highest position marquee in Mandalorian.
This appears to be authorized for warlords and that sort of thing. It's not a word that translates very well.
Okay, so important. So we should...
Yes, important people this way. Only important people beyond this point.
Well, important people are dead, so...
I'm not a people, so let's go.
At the very end of it, there's this little bit of script, and then the people who can't speak Mandalorian reckon like everything has that little script. And if you ask S4, it says under penalty of death. And they write everything at the end of that. Tonight in the commissary, we're having grilled cheese sandwiches, but penalty of death.
Under penalty of death.
All right, so you go in, you open the doors.
Cathargo Delinda Est. Yes.
You swing open the frosted glass doors, and there is a massive desk and office. You see war trophies all along the walls. You see banners that you assume are of previous engagements. A lot of them have blaster bolts through them. Oddly enough, you do see off one of the sides of the trophies a giant tusk that is capped with gold. And for you guys paying attention, that looks like the same kind of tusk that you would see off of in the photo.
Like a dwarf crate dragon,
like
for
a dwarf
instance?
crate dragon tusk.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to have to come with this, too. That thing's worth a fortune on the right market. I'm sure the New Republic Defense Force would have use of the credits.
You see 3 large bored holes in the ground that look fully open and could
And they're
fit.
very bored.
Yeah.
They're totally
This is a very,
displeased
very,
with the
very,
situation.
very, very large office. And you see 3 Basilisk War Droid-size holes. And you do see a bit of a streaming of light coming from the ground and helping you see in this room. And a really big desk, because of course it's a really big desk. Made out of...
I keep my rifle ready.
Wait, we see a Basilisk War Droid?
You see 3
No.
holes.
No, we
around.
see
Big
holes
enough
that
for
could
them.
fit them.
Oh, holes for them. Okay. All
Holes
right.
that they presumably made.
And this place is thrashed, too. This place is pretty, torn up as well.
Is there a corpse or a skeleton in here?
Do some searching.
Okay.
Do we all search?
Yeah, I'll search.
Let's have a difficulty.
1 purple, 1 black.
Don't forget,
And we
y'all
get-
are within straight range, so you get a blue die from me. Well, I got 3 successes, 2 threats.
And I got 1 success. Oh, no. 1 success and 1 advantage.
So did I.
Okay. Come on, you're looking around. You see the 3 massive holes in the ground, and you see that as you just move around up here, that it looks like rebar has been chewed through and torn out, and that the chunk of material between 2 of the holes is barely holding on. And, even just walking around up here, even though it's 15 feet of Duracrete, that there's a large chunk that's only being held because of a thin part of rebar that's hanging on still. You're actually able to see one of the war droids down on the floor, down on the level below you. It's pretty far away from you, but you're able to see it, and you see that it's the last place you were was hiding behind that tool cabinet. You see it's pushed it over and is literally digging down in the very spot you were hiding there before. And it looks like it's dug a trench about 7 feet down into the Duracrete just in the time you guys have been gone.
So as people were walking, I'll say, "Wait, stop." S4, look there to your left. Do you see that piece of rebar? I don't know if that can hold all 3 of you droids.
And all the things we're carrying. No, I'll stay away from there. Thank you.
As for you walk around the other side, the other side of the room.
It's a very interesting operation with the 2 droids like crab walking sideways, and S4M just kind of sitting there. He's communicating with the droids, but he doesn't need to say anything out loud, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's just awkward looking.
You walk around the side of the desk, and under some rubble and some fallen war trophies, you see the upper half of a skeletal torso.
Aha!
It has, the full uniform on. It's been torn at some. Where it lay, you actually... where it's laying, you don't see any gouge marks in around it. And it looks like the uniform does look pretty roughed up, because it's you only find the upper part of the torso. It's not really close to any of the big holes. And searching it, you do find what would a Mandalorian code cylinder look like?
I'm not sure.
Give me a thing. What do you think?
Let's do a cube.
It's a hexagon.
Instead. Yeah, it's a completely different shape.
Yeah,
that'll teach them.
You go down, you pull it out, and so it's a hexagon. And then whenever it depresses, it pops out 2 arms to the left and right, so it can be turned like one of those old submarine
like a key.
Yeah, like a submarine key. Let's see. You're able to find some. I mean, he's the highest ranking officer in this base. So if
in this room, that's right. Yeah.
Remy, you're going around. You're searching also, and you find the lower half of the torso. Interestingly enough, so you see he has a thigh holster, made out of the same kind of Mandalorian armor plating, like normal Mandalorian armor plating, not the lightsaber resistant one. And you see a really large weapon. It looks like almost like a chopped down rifle almost. And protruding from the front parts are two metallic rods with spheres, almost brass-looking spheres on the front of it. And you see that under one of his legs, you see a computer bank server drawer kind of a thing. It's a box about the size of 1.5 feet by 2 feet, and it has handles on either side of it.
1.5 feet tall.
Wide and deep. Sorry, wide and deep. So if you go to like a server room and they have these like larger computer,
so like
terminals,
a small. I'm imagining like a small filing cabinet. Like a filing cabinet, like a small.
It's about the size of
2-drawer one.
It's kind of like a briefcase. It's like a narrow briefcase,
but a handle on each side.
Yeah.
And this is what I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I walk over and examine it a little closer.
Yeah. So it doesn't have any display or anything, but you can see that it has terminal connections on the back of it, and looks like there is blood over the face of it. Or dried blood. You can give me a warfare on the pistol if you want, or on the weapon that he has if you want. It's going to be 2 purple and a black.
Nope, with 2 advantages. 1 failure, 2 advantages.
2 advantages. So you're not sure what the deal's with the gun, but what you do understand is that, well, it's definitely not like any of the other weapons you've seen. Even in the R&D facility. It's not a weapon that you saw in the R&D facility. So part of you can kind of rule out that this is supposed to be for the Jedi. It also is not like any of the other weapons you've seen on any of the bodies, and it's not even on any of the weapons you saw in their fighting units. So it's very weird. But the holster of this thing looks more manufactured.
Okay. Well... Is the briefcase thing heavy?
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's not. You can carry it, but it's definitely not light.
Okay, I'll examine it a little closer, I guess.
Yeah.
I would like the torso to have a helmet.
Mandalorian helmet, or we could make a Mandalorian weave officer hat.
Sure, that's fine.
An officer hat. Yeah. So it has It would have stats like a helmet, but it's
I examine it closer.
It looks like you would need it. You would need other devices to help you access it. Yeah, it looks like a.
Okay. So it doesn't look like.
It's like if you just had a tower, like a computer tower.
Okay, in that case, computers is not Remy's thing, and he is going to ask S4 for help. S4, any idea what this thing is?
I assume you're referring to the bank of computers that your glove is holding, Captain?
Oh, sorry, no, this thing here with the two handles right next to this corpse.
Two handles. Is that a blaster rifle? Or maybe a carbine?
No, not the weapon. The metal box thing.
Let me take a closer look. Could you bring it over here? This room is a little fragile.
As Remy drops it down the hole. No.
Yeah, there's also at least one droid down there rummaging around. Kamaya is standing somewhat near the hole with her blaster at the ready, like watching, and she's listening and trying to keep an eye out for droids. She's just standing watch.
Yeah, as for you can look at it, it does remind you of the kind that were in the flight control room.
Yes, Captain, this looks like one of the computer banks that might have been ripped out of the flight control room. We might be able to stick it back in and do something with it.
If you say so.
Alright, so now we have 4 boxes of Mandalorian paraphernalia. 5 Mandalorian blaster pistols, a Mandalorian weave officer hat, and a dwarf crate dragon horn worth quite a lot of
you make sure you write that down, because if you forget that you
it's on here, man.
Alright.
We also have a pile of Cortosis plates, a Cybertech hand, a data jack built into the skull and spine, a Mandalorian mechanism that converts raw power into flame, and 2 small boxes of Mandalorian bits and bobs taken from the broken weapons on their abandoned research base.
Well, and a partridge in a pear.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Well, if we can get the ship down here, then we should try to get as much out of that armory downstairs as we can get to.
And you get your code hexagon?
And we have a code hexagon. Why don't we return to the hangar's control room, see if we can't use this code hexagon to do something useful along with this computer data bank. We might be able to switch off the basilisks, and if that's the case, then we'll be far safer wandering around.
So S4, you know that you didn't see any places for the code hexagon on the flight deck. Because that's not where
we saw it in the barracks.
You saw that terminal was mostly destroyed. The places where you've seen where you could have used a code hexagon is in the room you guys were in before.
The control room,
the mission brief kind of room. Yeah.
Well, actually, that's closer. Why don't we go back there first, guys?
Yeah. I was going to suggest. Wasn't there a place you needed a code hexagon? On this floor?
No, we need the code square on this floor. The hexagon is for the 6th
Then you got to get the rooster
This
key.
is the 4th floor. Yeah, that's right. And then the blue key.
And then you have to find... Then there's the blue door. So then you need to find the blue key. And
You are quite right, Kamaya. Let's go there first. It's closer.
All right. So you backtrack. The way that you guys came originally from one of the hallways that had the maintenance, the lifter droids and stuff like that, you do hear rumbling down that way.
Great.
Thanks for listening. To make sure you don't miss any big updates, follow us on Facebook at No Match for a Blaster, or on Twitter at morality_plays. If you enjoyed our show, please leave us a review on iTunes, and visit our Patreon at patreon.com/moralityplays. No Match for a Blaster is a podcast for Morality Plays. Star Wars, Age of the Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny are made by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our theme is by Kevin MacLeod, sound effects by Tristan Longren, Vindus, and Akmov. And I'd like to thank my amazing players. Brandon playing Remy Drobash, Gerald playing S4M 3L, and Bobby playing Kamaya Saris. And of course I'd like to thank you, our listeners. And we'll see you again soon, in a galaxy far, far away.